Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for May 24, 2021, the KYC edition. We begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal, but here we're not talking about KYC and RegTech and FinTech. We're talking about it in the world of sports. And we refer, of course, to John Henry, owner of the Liverpool Football Club, who really stepped in it when he tried to be a part of the new Super League, slapping the face of the traditional Liverpool fan base for a few $100 million more that he thought he could squeeze out of the Liverpool club. So it just goes to show that you really have to know who your customer is, not simply from a financial perspective, but also understanding what their needs and desires are as well. Next up, continuing from the Wall Street Journal, the fintech company, Circle Internet Financial, has a new chief compliance officer. Mandeep Walia has been appointed. He comes to Circle from Novi, a digital wallet company for Facebook-backed DM digital currency project. And he recognized, or he's been brought in to help compliance be part of the growth of Circle Internet. So good luck in your new position. Next, we end with 2 articles from the Financial Times. The first one was a report issued by the German Bundestag absolutely skewers EY for its failings, which were laid bare in a report. It focused on the failures of EY in the Asia Pacific audit. The reports show that EY completely failed in its duties and obligations around the audit. Some of the German MPs who were briefed afterwards called the special investigators' findings appalling and said that they found it hard to imagine a court wouldn't see gross negligence with regard to EY. So EY continues to just be slammed by its failures in the Wirecard audits. It gave Wirecard a clean bill of health for, I believe, upwards of 10 years. But when Wirecard clearly was engaging in fraudulent activity. And our final story, also from the Financial Times, really deals with something very different but ubiquitous to every person who has worked, who has been a part of really any organization. And that is, we note the passing of Spencer Silver, the American chemist at 3M who created the Post-it note. He originally developed this in 1968, and he didn't have a use for it, so it was a solution looking for a problem. And he saw the problem eventually when a colleague made a suggestion to him, and then he sent a report to his manager about the use of the adhesive tape that he had created. On that tape, he wrote a note, and his boss answered him by writing a note back to him on the tape. And that literally was the start of the Post-it note, probably with the paperclip, one of the most ubiquitous tools since it was rolled out in 1980. So here's to the Post-it note and its creator. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.